A very good afternoon to our resource persons and dear participants. Welcome back to the AISET ATL Academy sponsored online faculty development program on the evolving world of AI. A look at modern trends and diverse implementations organized by the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Rajamahendri Institute of Engineering and Technology, Rajahmundry. We now move on to the session 11 of today's FDP. It is my privilege to introduce our speaker, Mr. P. Govinda, a seasoned professional in data science and advanced analytics. He brings over a decade of industry experience with strong expertise in the banking and insurance domains, particularly in model development, validation, monitoring, and risk management. Mr. Govinda holds a bachelor's degree from JNTU Kakinada and is a certified data science professional from Digital Nest. He has worked with reputed organizations including Ion Technology, Synchrony Financial, and is currently associated with Genpact. We are delighted to have him with us today and look forward to an insightful session. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to Mr. P. Govinda sir.
Uh, Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for the intro. And good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining today's webinar. Can I start the today's webinar? Can you please confirm from your end?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, you can start, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for confirming. So today's topic is data science overview and fundamentals. So this session is designed for both technical and non-technical audiences. So let me quickly share my screen and I will go through the deck. Can you please confirm, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thanks for confirming. Yeah, so second, let me minimize it. Yeah, so this session is designed for both technical and non-technical resources. So, I mean, we don't need to have prior coding or AI knowledge to follow this session. So, I developed it in such a way that everyone can easily understand these concepts and apply for their education or the professional purposes. So, data science today influences almost every major business decision. As you know, banking, healthcare, retail, insurance, and all the tech industries mostly rely on it. So earlier decisions were made on intuition driven, like subject matter experts are given their decisions based on their expertise. But now the decisions are data driven and evidence based. There is no such expert judgment decisions. Everything was shifted. So this shift reduces risk and improves the consistency. So the goal today is clarity and not complexity. So we will focus uh, mostly on why models are built, not just how they are built. So slowly you will understand how data turns into insights and you will see how AI fits into larger data science ecosystem. So I will also highlight a few real world use cases for your better understanding. Then, so my projects are mostly from the banking and financial services. Basically, I have worked mostly on the banking side. So then we will move gradually from basics to advanced topics. Then, so so please feel free to note questions as we go. So we will have time for discussion at the end of this session. So one thing I just want to ensure, so this session is practical, not academic. So let's begin with our agenda. So I will move to the next slide. So yeah. So I will pause after the slide so you can ask any questions if you have, right? And if my screen is frozen, please unmute yourself and please let me know. That really helps for me. Yeah, so the first one, agenda overview. So this agenda is structured from fundamentals to advanced topics. So we'll begin with understanding of what data science really is. Then we move into the machine learning concepts. So basically, machine learning involves algorithms that allow system to learn data, improving this their accuracy over time, and enabling applications in areas like predictive analysis and recommendation systems. So for the machine learning, if you see any of the examples in the real time, so when we order the Zomato, then we will get some time in specific time. So the order will be received in 30 minutes or 45 minutes. So that time is calculated using the machine learning algorithms like regression models. And when we applying for the loans or the credit cards, based on the machine learning models, it will predict whether you are going to default or whether you're going to repay the amount to the lender or the bank or not. So these are the real-time examples, some of the real-time examples for the machine learning. So after that, we will discuss the deep learning techniques. So again, deep learning is a subset of machine learning. It uses neural networks, like it's a complex patterns in the high dimensional area. So these deep learning techniques are mostly used in the image recognition and speech processing. Then later we move into the natural language processing. So natural language processing focus on interaction between computers and human language. So NLP mostly works with the text data. Like currently we using lot of chatbots and translating services. So these all are comes under the NLP. Then we'll talk about the agentic AI. So agentic AI, generative AI, and retrieval augmented generation. These are the present trending things in market. So as you know, Google's creating Gemini, and OpenAI is ChatGPT 5, and Anthropic Llama 3. So these are the LLMs, or you call it ChatGPTs, are currently are in the trending. And yeah, I will move to the next slide. So, and why data science is critical? What are the importance of the data science? So, as we discussed earlier, every industry today generates massive amounts of data, be it banking, be it a retail industry, or any sector like healthcare, retail sector, anything. So that generates massive amounts of data every day. But data alone doesn't create any value. So we have the huge data, but when we use the data and create the insights, that's only add value to the organizations or the company. So insights create value, not the data. So data science convert that raw data into insights. So in banking, this means fraud prevention and credit risk. So in fraud prevention is one of the important core pillar of the bank. So to control the fraud, bank uses lot of machine learning models to predict and control the fraud. In healthcare, early disease detection for the cancer and other diagnosis. In retail sector, customer personalization, customer retention, when they're going to default or when they're going to opt out the services. So these are the services used in the retail sector. In manufacturing, like predictive maintenance of the machines or the machinery corrosion checking. So yeah, I mean, n number of examples for the manufacturing. So the algorithms may be similar, but the business problems are different. So risk tolerance differs across industries. Banking focus on the explainability and controls because banking works under the regulator environment. So in India, we are regulated with Reserve Bank of India. The similar way US is regulated with the Fed, Federal Reserve Board. So tech companies focus on speed and scale because tech companies should be super fast. So in current market, earlier we have 30 minutes delivery, right? Now, if you look at the deliveries, I mean, the fast and the how they're scaling their business. So Blinkit, it will give you order in 10 minutes. And now the Flipkart Minutes app, it will give in 5 to 10 minutes. So, I mean, they're doing services very rapidly. And the healthcare focus on the accuracy and safety. This is important because healthcare always works with human beings. So data science adapts to business context. I mean, that's why domain knowledge is matters. So same data, but different interpretation. Banking will use differently, and healthcare will use differently, right? So this flexibility is the power of data science, right? So now let's define it clearly. So I discussed data-driven decisions, predictive analysis, and the empowering innovation. So let me move to the data science life cycle. So I will pause for a second. If you have any questions, please feel free to talk. If not, I can move to the next slide. So this is data science life cycle. So data science is a combination of multiple skills. So first it includes statistics, programming, and business understanding. So statistics help handle uncertainty. So once we get the data from the organizations, we will do the data cleaning and the pre-processing steps. Like we will check for the missing values or the null values, the duplicates, and we will clean the data so that we can train the model easily. So we cannot train the model with biased data, right? So the first step is data collection and data cleaning and pre-processing. Then we will do the explorative analysis. In the explorative analysis, we will check for the outliers in the data, like is there any skewness in the data and the variance of the data, like percentiles. So we are doing all these things to understand the data better. Because as I said, statistics help handle uncertainty, right? So business knowledge ensures relevance. Analytics tell us what happened in the past based on the data. Then once the pre-processing and explorative analysis, then we will move into the modeling based on the type of the output. If the model output is 0 or 1, whether the default or not, whether the customer is going to, opting out the service or not. For those problems statements, we will use the regression models like logistic regression. And for the continuous output, we will use the linear regression and other ensembling models as well, like XGBoost, AdaBoost. So these are the some of the machine learning models we will use. Then once we develop the model, so we will monitor the model as well. So every quarter or every month, based on the rigor of the model, I mean, how frequently we are using the model or how mostly we are rely on the model. So example, as a fraud model, I said, so fraud model is wanted every day because fraud is dynamic. Fraud can happen anytime. And other credit risk models like whether the customer is default or not. I mean, whether the customer is not paying the loan or not. For that, we will do check every quarter because the fraud or the default will happen after 90 days. Once the customer is not paying till 90 days, then only he will considered as a default. But fraud is different, right? So once the model is developed and monitored, then we will keep that model in the cloud. And again, we will check the model. We will use the model outputs. And after that, we will retire the model. So this is the cycle of the data science model. So basically, data science predicts what will happen next, right? And explain why it may happen. So I will give you one example. In US, if you want to reject any loan or any credit card application, you need to give reject regions. So we have a lot of input features from that customer, that account. We will look at that customer details and why that account has been rejected based on our model. So we will look at the features. Let's say their debt to income, like that debt is higher than the income, or the age is higher. There, I mean, the stability is very low because he is changing the homes very frequently. So these are the some of the features. Because of these reasons, you're not going to get the loan. So we should provide these or those adverse action reason codes to the customers when we reject the loan or credit card. And again, for the fair lending, so when we develop the any machine learning model, we shouldn't include the personal information for the customers, and we shouldn't keep the variables like age, race, ethnicity, color. So these are the strictly prohibited in the machine learning model. So these are the mostly customer impacting decisions. So models should support decision, not replace humans. And good data science asks the right questions, not build complex algorithms. So simplicity is often better because the transparency builds with confidence. So this is about the data science life cycle. If no question, I will move to the next slide. Yes. So this is the machine learning overview. So as I discussed earlier, so the definition, so machine learning enables computers to learn automatically based on the initial data we have provided. So the concepts in the machine learning are the algorithms and the statistics. Then types of learning, supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement learning types. And the application, so machine learning models impacts industries daily life significantly. As I said, in every industries, be it healthcare, finance, retail, real estate, in all the industries, machine learnings are widely used for the decision making. And so the model will understand how the model works. So model learns patterns automatically. So this is useful when rules are complex. So let's say if the age is higher, then the chances of BP or sugar are high. So this is the simple pattern. Everybody knows when we are aging, our energy drops. But when we want to train the model with complex rules, then we cannot able to get, I mean, train that information by ourselves. Then we need to train our model to get that complex rules. So fraud detection is good example. Fraud patterns evolve constantly because I mean the rules set up by the sorry, so the rules set up by the banks or the regulators are static. They're not dynamic. But fraudster are dynamic. I mean, they will change always new plans to fraud, right? So when the machine learning adapts to the new data, ML is not intelligence. It finds correlations. I mean, meaning of the transaction. But human oversight is also required. When the new fraud happens, we need to keep that information in the model to train the new machine learning model with the this new theft or fraud information. So, uh, monitoring is essential for all the models. Machine learning improves the efficiency, but it should be governed carefully. And not all problems need machine learning models because simple logic may suffice for few problems. Like we can use some Excel formulas to do some, I mean, simple models because machine learning models are come with cost and complexity matter. So ML is a tool, not a solution. So this is about the machine learning overview. Let's move to the next slide. Supervised learning. So I will pause for a second. Any questions so far? So if not, I can move to the next slide. Yeah, so supervisor learning. So it uses label data. We know, anybody want tell me anything? Uh, can you hear me all? Can you please confirm anybody want to talk?
No, sir. You can continue for the next slide.
Yeah, sure, sure. Thank you for confirming. Yeah, so the supervisor learning, yes. So supervisor learning uses label data. We know the outcome is in advance. We know whether the customer is default or not, whether the customer is interested for the marketing campaign or not, whether the customer is going to do fraud or not, and whether the customer is repay the amount or not. So these are the label data. I mean, we know the outputs. So example include default or not default. So for fraud or genuine transaction. So model learn input out relationships from the historical data. So logistic regression model is the common machine learning model used in the banking industry, and also decision trees are also, I mean, works fine with the, I mean, minimal data, not with huge data. And so label data is critical for the supervised learning models, and regulators preferred supervised models because it's easy to interpret. Like unsupervised learning is difficult to interpret the and provide the explainability for the outputs. So because validation is easier, validation means we are checking once we build a model whether the model is performing as intended or not. So this is evaluation of the model. So every machine learning model we will check the performance. Once we get the model in the production, we will check the model performance every time as per the rigor of the model. So for the supervisor learning models, the key thing is transparency. So if you look at the logistic regression model, the formula, the equation is simple. So for the every input feature, we will get the weights. So we will know which feature is giving importance in the predicting the output of the model. So the transparency, explainability is so higher for the supervisor machine learning model. That is why supervised machine learning models are dominance in the finance and insurance industry because simplicity often wins. So this is about the supervisor learning. Let me move to unsupervised learning. So unsupervised learning has no labels. So we have seen in the supervised learning, there we have the inputs and the output feature, but here we don't have the output feature. So the model finds a structure in the data. If you look at the three diagrams, we so initial diagram, we have the data points. They are very close. In the second slide, if you look at the second slide, there is nine clusters. So based on the similarity or the coherence of the data, we segmented the all the data into nine segments. Because once we segment the data, it's easy to take the decisions. So we can take the decisions on the single segment, and based on their segment we can use their data, or we can use different models based on their I mean their characteristics. The last one is whole data is showing in the two-dimensional space. So, I mean, the clustering is common method for the unsupervised learning model, and the in the unsupervised learning, K-means algorithm is a famous one. So mostly we use for the customer segmentation. also for the anomaly detection as well, but mostly used for the segmentation, like clustering the customers based on the similar data points together. So, so regulators, I mean, always think about the supervised learning instead of unsupervised learning. So these models support exploration, often used early in the projects to monitor behavior of the change from the initial stage to current stage or future stage. So yeah, so this is about the unsupervised learning. And next, reinforcement learning. So yeah, so reinforcement learning is a type of model focused on the training agents through rewards and penalties. So this reinforcement in learning mostly used in the Q learning and deep Q network, crucial for the solving problem decision making tasks. And applications are like gaming, robotics, healthcare, finance, and optimizing services are mostly used by the reinforcement learning. So, I mean, this is not widely used in the industries like reinforcement learning. Mostly we use the supervised and the unsupervised learning models. So before move to the next slide, I will just pause here for any questions.
No, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So this is the model evaluation overview. So evaluation determines model reliability. Like training performance is misleading. So the model is working fine with the training data, but it's not working with the test data. So test data is important. That is what the production data. So we must test on the unseen data. So train, test, split, simulate reality, but overfitting is a major risk because the model may work better with trained data, but it may not work with the unseen data or the test data. So a memorized model fails in production. Validation always ensure the generalization. So always we will do the back testing. So because once we build the model, then before going to the production, we will check with the historical data. That is called back testing. We will do the back testing with the historical data to check whether the model is generalized well or not, whether the model is discriminating well or not, whether they're segmenting the right and wrong customers or not. So monitoring checks this ongoing performance. So because evaluation builds trust. So when we evaluate the model and tells that this model is performing as intended, so this builds the trust, right? So stakeholders and the business people always depend on the model evaluation. And regulators also expect the same because the poor evaluation lead to losses and false confidence is dangerous. If we, let's say, the customer is not fraud, but we always keeping the customer in the hold to check whether the transaction is fraud or not. So this, what could happen? The customer may, I mean, retired, or the customer may leave to from the bank or the any other industry or any other application. So that is huge loss for the organization. So, so this poor evaluation lead to losses and false confidence is all, I mean, it's so dangerous. So models must be challenged and not blindly trusted. So evaluation is continuous thing. It's not like single one. So so basically, the model evaluation is assessing the performance of a machine learning model by measuring its effectiveness of making predictions or classification on the new data. So there are key concepts like overfitting, underfitting, trade-off between bias and variance. So these are the important things to check with the unseen data, the historical data. So there are few metrics I have mentioned here. The first one is accuracy. I mean, out of, let's say we have 100 records or 100 applications, out of 100, how many are correctly predicted and wrongly predicted? So this tells us the accuracy metric. And the next one is precision and recall. So basically, these two work with the true positives and the false positives. And the F1 score, it's a harmonic mean of the precision and recall. So instead of rely on the two metrics like precision and recall, we are using the balanced metric like F1 score to distribute between the uneven class distribution. And the typical applications in the various fields like fraud detection, medical diagnosis, and recommendation systems. So in all these industries, these machine learning models ensures robust and reliable for real world decisions. So these are about the model evaluation metrics. So again, any questions, please feel free to ask. If not, we'll move to the next slide.
No, sir.
Yeah. So deep learning overview. Sorry, anybody wants to talk? Okay, yeah. So this slide will talk about the deep learning concept. So deep learning is again subset of machine learning. So it's designed to handle complex and high dimensional space. So in the supervised learning, it's a two-dimensional space. So we'll have the output and the input. But in the deep learning, it's a complex, complex computations involved with the deep learning models. Because examples includes images to images processing or the audio processing, video or text processing. So these all things involves high complex algorithms and the high dimensional data. So deep learning uses multi-layer neural networks. So it's like human brain. So when we are hungry, our brain tells us eat or have something. In the similar way, the deep learning model has a multi-layer neural networks. So it will back propagate and tells us which one should activate at what time. So these layers learn patterns automatically based on the historical data. So manual feature engineering is reduced in the deep learning techniques. This makes deep learning very powerful because it back propagate and it will react based on the historical data. And also it also requires significant computational power. Like currently, NVIDIA's GPUs are very trending in market. So GPUs are commonly used for the training, not CPUs. So deep learning models are harder to explain. It's not simple that these four features are not working or not contributing. These four features are giving more weightage to the model. It's not possible in the deep learning model because these all are the multi neural networks framework. So this is the thing. It creates the challenges in regulated industries. In the banking industry, as of now, there is no deep learning techniques involved in the any decision making thing because regulators or the compliance or the governance team from the government or the private sector need the I mean transparency and the clear definition of the all the features. But deep learning models are harder to explain. So this is the thing which creates the challenge in the regulatory environment. So not every business problem needs deep learning. So currently we are using the deep learning techniques in the image processing, text generation, and the image recognitions. So explainability is a major concern in the deep learning technique, but governance becomes more important in the environment. So it uses deep learning thoughtfully, and Yeah, that's all about the deep learning overview. And let me look at the neural networks. Yeah, so neural networks are inspired by the human brain, as I mentioned. They consist of neurons connected by the weights. So every neuron has the weight. So each neuron performs a simple calculation. Input flows from one layer to another. Weights control the importance of the inputs. Then activation functions add non-linearity. So this non-linearity allows learning complex patterns. So these neural networks learn through training. So when we give in this data, it will train the model using the neural networks. So the training adjusts the weights gradually. This is done to minimize the prediction error. So let me give you a simple example. So when you are in some place, you need to reach your home, but you don't know how to go. So what you will do, we will start with first step. Then the loss will be minimized. And the second step, this is how we minimize the loss and reach the point where the loss is minimum or zero, right? So in the real time, the loss couldn't be zero because there should be always a loss in the real-time problems. And these neural networks can model complex relationships. But the thing is, it's harder to interpret. So this is the place the trade-off between power and transparency comes into matter. So overfitting is a common risk in the neural networks because we train the model with a less data and we will use that model to predict the outputs with the unseen data. So that's why we use the regularization techniques. So this can help control over the overfitting. So neural networks require careful tuning. Once we develop the model, again we will fine tune the neural networks to work as per our data or as per our industry because they are very powerful, not always necessary to use the existing model. So yeah, this is the neural networks, and I have covered all the things in the neural networks. Okay, let me talk about these layers. So this input layer receives the raw data. Then these hidden layers transform the data, and the output layer produce the predictions. So each hidden layer learns different features, and early layers learn simple patterns, and deeper layers learn the complex patterns. So this is the architecture of the neural network, simple neural networks, and backpropagation, as I mentioned, backpropagation is how neural networks learn from the historical data. The model first make a prediction. The prediction error is calculated. This error is propagated backward. Weights are updated gradually. The goal is to minimize the error. And too fast causes instability, and too slow increases the training time. So that's why we use the loss function. And so for the different problems, we use the different loss functions. And this process is computationally intensive in nature. I mean, it comes with huge cost and computational power. And yeah, so this is about the neural networks. Moving to the NLP basics, and I will pause again for a couple of seconds for any questions. Okay, I will move to the NLP. Okay, so basically NLP stands for Natural Language Processing. It allows machines to understand the human language And earlier, NLP is relying on the keyword matching, whether these two words are matching or not. But now, modern NLP techniques are focused on the context. So if you type in email, it focuses the next word. So for them, NLP techniques are built and used in the back end. So I will go through these one. So tokenization. These are the four, structure in the NLP. So first one is tokenization. So we will break the text into smaller unit or tokens, and we will do the stemming. And stemming is like reducing words into their root form. And the lemmatization. So we will transform the words in such a way that it holds only the base meaning. And the named entities, so it identifies the important of the names in the text or context. And yes, so model, as I mentioned, modern NLP focus on the context, not just words. So word embeddings are used. So word embeddings are capture meaning in the high dimensional space, and transformers or revolution NLP techniques, and chatbot or common application. And also the use case of the NLP techniques are the sentimental analysis. In the sentimental analysis, NLP techniques are widely used, and document classification, automation review. And basically, NLP reduces manual effort because language is ambiguous by nature. So models approximate understanding, and they do not truly understand the meaning of the document. So bias can exist at any time in the long ways. So for these models also, we need the continuous monitoring of the model. So errors always can happen at any time. So these are the 6 phases when we do the NLP models building. The first one is, as I mentioned, tokenization. So we will, if we have let's say we have the 100 pages document, then we will do the tokenization. We will cut or split the text into meaningful units. Then we will use the lower casing for all the data. We will convert all the words into lower cases. Then we will remove the stop words which are not significant. Which are not giving any value in the model. Then we will use the stemming, we reduce the words to their root forms. Those are not add any value. Then we will do the lemmatization, which is transforming the words into their dictionary forms, because we use the dictionary in the when we do the modeling, we will use the dictionaries. Then we will remove the punctuations because they are not add any value in the modeling. And coming to the applications of the embedding models. So first one is word-to-vec. So this will convert word into vectors in the high dimensional space. So when we give the any word, it will that word will go into the high dimensional space and will give the next word or the question to answer. The BERT is contextualize and word meanings. So it will look for the meaning of the word. And the applications. So it enhances the NLP task in the applications and the yeah. So these are the some of the applications for the NLP models. Uh, so these all we discussed in the initial slide. So let me move to the large language models. Before that, I will pause for a second for questions. Okay. Yeah. So large language models are foundational models. So understanding and the understanding of the LLMs are, I mean, it's essential in now because I mean, currently all the models are built on the LLMs. If you look at the current trending LLMs, Google's Gemini, OpenAI's ChatGPT 5, and Microsoft's Llama 3 and Llama 4, and currently they are developing this. So these all are trained on the massive text data sets. So everybody want to make a traditional one LLM or GPT model for their business. So they can use the model for n number of purposes. So basically, LLMs are advanced AI systems. So that process language data to generate human-like text and playing a crucial role in various applications like chatbots and translation because they learn language patterns and they predict the next word. And basically, they do not verify the facts because they use the probability functions to predict the next word. So this can cause the hallucinations. So to control that, we will use the monitoring of the model. So to control over that, we will use the right prompting because prompting influences the outputs. And also we will use the fine tuning. This will enable the model to perform better. So LLM support many use cases. They can summarize the documents. They can answer the questions. They can generate content and I mean, they can generate, I mean, videos or audios. Cost of inference can be high because this comes with cost, and the enterprises usage needs safeguards. I mean, we cannot use these LLMs in the regulated environments like insurance or healthcare. And yeah, so this is about the LLMs, and I will move to the next one. Large language models. So as I mentioned, so these LLMs are designed to understand and generate human-like text based on large data set and complex algorithms. And they utilize deep learning techniques like transformers to analyze text patterns, enabling them to predict and generate coherent responses. And the applications of the large language models are chatbots, translation services, content generation, and others. So this is about the LLMs, and move to the next one. Yes, generative AI. So this is the very hot topic in now. Generative AI creates new content. So it goes beyond the predictions. So in when we go back to the machine learning, supervised learning and unsupervised learning. Those are using with the existing data based on the historical data, we are predicting something. But here we are going beyond the predictions. So we are creating we are generating the text, images, and the code. It produces productivity like anything. So I mean, so GenAI creates content through algorithms, mimicking like human activity, human creativity. So the key concepts is neural networks and the training data for effective generation, and the applications like text, images, music generation for other various needs. And the current GenAI models are the GPT, DALL-E, and Music.LM for different diverse outputs. Basically, GenAI models accelerates the knowledge work. It reduces the new risk. I mean, it introduces the new risk because misinformation is a concern. I mean, the data is a concern. Data leakage is a major risk for the GenAI models. That's why the outputs from the GenAI models always reviewed, and humans remains accountable for this kind of model. So I mean, current GenAI model is a co-pilot from the Microsoft. It is widely used in the industry. And so for the GenAI models, we are currently in the stage, we are creating some governance frameworks which are needed to control all the generative AI models. So, I mean, the GenAI adoption is growing rapidly currently. in the tech sector and the other sectors. But the thing is, deployment of these Gen AI models is critical. So this needs controls mechanism to protect the customers in the organization. So this is about the generative AI. Yeah, coming to the agentic AI. Yes, so agentic AI can plan and take actions. So it goes beyond simple response generation. It can execute workflows. It can create agents to work on different multiple tasks to give the final output. So this improves automation. So if you give some task to the agentic AI, so it will split the task into small tasks, and it will assign each for each task it will assign each agent, and it will accumulate all the outputs and give the final output. So it also increase the risk, and clear boundaries are required for the agentic AI as well, because logging actions is very essential, and human approvals also needed for these agentic AI decisions. Again, as we discussed, accountability, governance, testing, and the deployment, these all things are very critical in nature. And deployment also should be very grateful. And risk assessment for these models are, mandatory, because we cannot truly, sorry, we cannot truly blindly rely on these agentic AI models. So this is about the agentic AI models. Yes. So the next one is retrieval augmented generation RAG application. So any questions so far? Okay. So RAG, retrieval augmented generation. So it combines search with generation. Basically, the initial LLM models, the LLMs are trained on the huge data. So when we ask some questions or when we provide some prompt, based on the prompt, that LLM will generate the data. If the LLM doesn't have the data uh, for that specific question or query, and it will create the output like I'm not trained on the data, or I don't have that capacity to generate the output. But coming to the RAG application, so in the RAG, it will automatically call other databases or the other data sources to get the input from their other resources, and it will accumulate all the inputs from these data sources, and it will create the final output. So RAG is very important solution currently, and if you heard about the Perplexity, so it basically uses the strong RAG application. So this model, it retrieves information first, then it generates the responses, and it reduces the confusion about the outputs. So when we ask the critical or complex questions, so the LLM will take a lot of time, because it will it will go for the other applications or other data sources and get the output, and they finalize the output based on our question. So these are the, yeah. So there is one component. The first one is retriever component. So the retriever basically fetch relevant information from a large data set or the database or the other data sources. And the second component is generator component. So the generator formulates responses based on the retrieved data using the LLM models. And the so once they retrieve the data, then it generates the conceptually rich responses for the users based on the data received from the RAG. And the common applications for the RAG is chatbots, document summarization, and personalized content generation. So this is about the RAG. The yes, so coming to the future of AI. So the future of AI is responsible. I mean, it's responsible. Regulation is increasing globally for the AI models. Explainability is becoming mandatory, right? Because bias must be challenged and managed. Transparency always builds the trust. So monitoring is required for the all the AI models because machine learning models increase the complexity and the criticality for everyday applications. And the potential advancements, like future advancement, may include improved natural language processing, autonomous systems, or smart AI-driven technologies that can adapt and learn continuously. And the ethical considerations, like ethical concerns, focus on like data privacy, requiring responsible AI development to safeguard the human rights and the remote fairness. And the social impacts, AI will transform the industries in future. So for this, I mean, will create the new opportunities. It will foster the innovation and the enhancing productivity across the various sectors. And as AI progresses, it will necessitate the ongoing evolution, encouraging collaboration to ensure technology aligns with social values and benefits everyone. So this is the future of the AI. So it mostly it should be covered with strong regulations and compliance with the industries, and we should always have the safe guidance and governance with the AI models. So this is about the future of AI. Let me move to the next slide. Yeah, so the applications of data science in various fields. The first one is healthcare sector. So as we discussed earlier, so in the healthcare sector, mostly used in the diagnosis or the research, medicine research, and I mean in the cancer diagnosis. So I mean mostly, most of the disease predictions are used in the healthcare sector. In the finance, like when we need to give the loan or whom we need to give the loan, to prevent the fraud and to calculate the losses, to calculate the assets, to calculate the interest income for the next year or the couple of years. So these are some of the applications in the finance industry. And the marketing, so in the marketing, so if we go randomly for the marketing, it will comes with lot of cost. So instead of going randomly or catching the customers randomly, so we will use the machine learning models to target the customers. So the models always give the data-driven insights to, whom we need to connect with the specific marketing campaigns. So, let's say when we are doing the new product or the new service in the market, so we will need to catch the customers who are willing to or who are most likely to get this product or service. So, in that area, ML models are widely used. In the transportation, yeah, as I mentioned in the Zomato example. So again, the traffic flow using real-time data in most of the areas in Bangalore as well, the traffic is controlled using the machine learning models. Using the historical data, they know when the traffic is huge on specific areas. And the social media, yeah, like recommendation systems. So in the social media, and the recommendation systems are widely used in the Netflix. So Netflix always use the recommendation system, which is again the LLM model. So it take the input from you. I mean, what are the movies you watched so far or in the past? Based on that, it will recommend the movies or the web series to you. So these are the some of the applications for the data science. And let me move to the yes. So I have created two applications in real time. So this will give more understanding of the model. So before moving to the examples, I will pause for a minute for any questions or anything you want to discuss, please feel free to.
Sir, you can continue, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. So this is one of the model used in the banking industry. So the model name is account takeover fraud model. Account takeover fraud is simply getting others' credentials like their user ID and password, or their way, I mean, with their details, we are logging into their mobile banking or internet banking or mobile, I mean, any applications with the other credentials. So account takeover fraud is a major threat to the banks and the customers because fraudster compromise customer credentials and login behaviors changes suddenly. So location may change, device information may change, transaction pattern may change. Sorry, models detect these anomalies. So, increasing these frauds are increasing due to mobile banking growth. So this requires the real-time frictionless models to control over the fraud. So as I mentioned, the business purpose is to control the account takeover fraud from the fraudsters. So the input features this model is the IP address of the customers from where they're using the mobile application and their orientation, the system they're using, the keyboard speed they're using, and from the area they're using. So these are the some of the input features in the model. Using this information, we will check whether the transaction is fraud or not. So monitored mobile app interactions are used in this model. So the model is set up in such a way that the risk of the every transaction will range from the 0 to 1,000. Where the higher the score, the higher the fraud of the probability of the fraud is higher. So the model methodology is XGBoost, Extreme Gradient Boost method, and because it handles the non-linear patterns and also it works well with the imbalanced data because the fraud is very minimal in nature. I mean, if you have 1,000 or lakh of the records, the fraud should be like 2% or 3%, which is very imbalanced data. So for that, we will use the extreme gradient boost machine learning model. So when we develop with this model, this is cloud hosted solution. So in the real time, when we log into the mobile application, when we given the user ID and passwords like our credentials, in the back end, there is the application is integrated via mobile SDK. So when we log in, that API will call the account takeover fraud model in real time and dynamically within milliseconds, and it will check whether the transaction is fraud or not, whether it's a genuine transaction or a fraud transaction. So API returns the risk score in milliseconds. So if it is a fraud transaction, then the transaction will be stopped and the account will be blocked, and the banking risk manager will do the analysis for their customers which are have the fraud transaction. If it is the genuine transaction, it will it will go in the same way, I mean, usual way. So this is the example of the account takeover fraud model. Again, these models are monitored every quarter, every month, and every day by the fraud risk managers. And the second model is business customer natural purchase model. So the first one is related to the fraud, and this model is related to the marketing model. So this is the marketing model basically, whether the customers are going to purchase this model, I mean this product or not, basically. So we cannot do random marketing for all the banking customers because banking has huge data of customers. So these models support the marketing decisions. They predict the customer intent. I mean, whether the customer is intended to take this service or not. So they identify the customers likely to purchase. and this reduce the unnecessary outreach. I mean, instead of contacting the 1 lakh customers, contacting the 10,000 customers, right customers is a good one, and it reduce the cost and the human resources, and also it improves the customer experience. Conversion rate increases, and the purchase rate also increases. So the model uses the customer behavior data. So bank has the huge data, historical data of the products and services, and which are the customers enrolled for these services or the products. So using the data, the model will be developed based on the customer relationships to products and services. So for this model, logistic regression model is applied, and performance is carefully measured using the AUC EKS matrix. Basically, area under curve is tells us how the model is correctly predicted, and the KS is metric, which is used to tell us about the how the model is segmented or the discriminated, between the goods and bads. So these are the two metrics widely used in the industry, and stability also monitored. So to check the stability of the model, we will look at the two things. Like we have the input data from the development time, and we have the current time data, which is currently using the data. So we will look at the population stability index, like how population has been shifted. I mean, how the data is pre-COVID, how the data is after COVID. So for to calculate this population shift or population drift, we will use the population stability index matrix. So this is the model building, and the so basically this model optimize the marketing spend, time, and lead management. Also drives the better personalization and higher conversion rates in marketing campaigns. And the data sources used for this model are the customer characteristics, like age, income, and the balances of the customers, account transactions, product relationships, depth and breadth, like how long he's with the bank, how many loans or how many credit cards or how many services they opted for the bank. And the external sources, like business data from the government data sources, databases, or competitor data, retailer data, household demographics. So these are the external and internal data sources has been used to build this model. And methodology is like logistic regression, whether they will use the service or not. And the output is binary outcome, whether it's yes or no, whether they will opt for this service or they won't opt for the services. And the performance metrics I have mentioned earlier, area under curve, case, and the population stability index. So these are the three metrics used for the model performance checking. So these are the two models I have. And coming to the next slide, data science ethics and the closing session. So the first one in the data science ethics, like protecting individuals' data is crucial to maintain trust and ensure compliance with legal standards in data science practices. So for this, I will give you example, like whenever we build the machine learning models, in the banking industry, we won't use any PII, I mean personal identification information. So we are prohibited to use any personal information from the customers. It's strictly prohibited. So we shouldn't use any personal information from the customers. And the second one is fairness. So striving for fairness means actively working to eliminate the bias in datasets and algorithms, fostering the equality in data-driven outcomes. So fairness. So when we, developing the model, when we lending the money from the bank or any financial institutions, so we shouldn't use any variables like input features which are related to the age, color, race, or ethnicity. I mean, we cannot discriminate the customers based on their race or caste or community. So this should be included in the any machine learning model. The third one is transparency. So the transparency requires clear communication of the methodologies and results, enabling stakeholders to understand and trust data-driven conclusions. So when we develop the model, we should provide the clear, transparent results to the stakeholders and the customers. So that's why we will use the simple machine learning models to provide the weights associated with the features. I mean, when we reject or the approve the loan, or when we giving the data-driven decisions, we should give the weights and the transparency in the decisions. And the accountability. The fourth one is accountability. So data scientists must engage in responsible practices, ensuring they are answerable for the decisions and actions within their work. So when we do the predictions or the forecasting for the model, so we are the accountable for the decisions for the, any industries. And the fifth one is integrity. So upholding integrity involves ensuring data accuracy and the honesty in reporting findings, thereby enhancing the credibility of the data science. So for the integrity, when we closing the loan, or when we rejecting or the declining the loan or the personal loan, loan or credit card or any other services, we should provide the clear information like adverse reason action codes. So when we develop the model, so model will predict whether we should provide the loan or we should provide service or not. So when we declining or the closing the account, we should provide the clear cut understanding to the customer. So when we decline the any application or code, we are accountable to provide the reasons to the customer so that they can understand the reasons, and they can work on, and again they can apply for the loan or any product. So if you look at the credit card industry in India as well, so when we have seen a lot of people with low CIBIL score or no CIBIL score. So then what we'll say, we will say you don't have the CIBIL score generated for your name, so that you should take some home loan or personal loan or any gold loan, or any thing, so that regulators will create the CIBIL score for you. In the similar way, in US, when we declining or the closing the loan or the card, we should provide the adverse reason action codes. I mean, what are the features which makes the loan is declined? So this is coming under the integrity. And the last one is security threats. So identifying and mitigating security threats is essential to protect sensitive information from breaches and the unauthorized access in data ecosystem. So, when we are using any machine learning models, so we should always be mindful when we giving the personal information or the, the organization information. So, we should always keep mindful about this. And yeah, this is about the data science ethic. I think that's all I have for today. Thank you, and happy to take questions if you have any.
Dear participants, you have any
Yes,
questions?
sir.
You can ask.
Yes, sir. I have a question. I am a research scholar doing PhD.
Oh,
Recently, my topic is NLP in
okay.
Gujarati language.
Okay.
I am working on some models, but yet not find which one is the best model for summarization in Gujarati.
I didn't get you. Can you come again?
Which one is the good model for work over Gujarati for summarization Gujarati text?
I mean, there is no good model, bad model. It's
Yes,
completely depends on the data. I mean, you should trial and error method. I mean, you should try with
yes, sir.
all the models. So it's completely depends on the data. There is no good or bad model. So you should always try with different models to get your I mean, a required result. So it's always depends on your end product. I mean, what you want to achieve.
Okay, sir. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So if you want to translate, I mean, there are n number of free models available in Git. So you can try the GitHub and you will find n number of models.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for
Sir, we will
thank you
conclude,
everyone for
sir.
all the time. Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
yeah. I appreciate everyone for your time. And I mean, we have 10 minutes. If you have any questions, I'm really happy to answer you. Okay, I think there is no questions. Thank you. Thank you everyone for your
Okay, thank
time.
you, Govind, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Lavanya,
Thank you very much, sir, for the wonderful session. Your insights and practical perspectives were extremely valuable and well appreciated by the participants. On behalf of the ATL FTP Organizing Committee, Right Management, and all participants, we express our sincere thanks to you for your valuable contribution. Thank you once again.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks everyone and have a great rest of the day. Thank you. Bye.
The
thank you,
next
Govind.
the next session will start by sharp 3:30. Experience in the field of information technology and computer applications. Dr. Ravi Shankar is currently serving as principal scientist and head in the Department of Computer Applications and IT at ICAR, National Institute for Research on Commercial Agriculture, Rajahmundry. He holds a postgraduate degree in computer science and PhD in Computer Science and Engineering from Acharya Nagarjuna University, Guntur. He began his academic career as a lecturer at PB Siddhartha College of Arts and Science, Vijayawada, and later joined in the Agricultural Research Service in 1997, where he has held several key scientific and leadership positions. Since 2014, he has been heading the Department of Computer Applications and IT at ICAR. Dr. Ravishankar has successfully implemented 17 research projects as principal investigator and 5 external funded projects, making significant contributions to agriculture through expert systems and decision support system for pests, diseases, soil fertility, water quality, dairy cattle management, and wet identification, benefiting researchers, farmers, and extension workers alike. His research excellence extends to data mining, bioinformatics, artificial intelligence, and big data analytics. He has designed 3 novel data mining algorithms, received advanced training at George Mason University, USA, and identified over 700 new micro RANs in cow and tobacco, contributing to genetic regulation and crop improvement research. Dr. Ravishankar is a recognized PhD supervisor from JNTU Kakinada and JNTU Hyderabad, has published over 50 research papers, authorized books, and book chapters received 15 national and society awards, and obtained 15 Government of India copyrights for developed software systems. He is also fellow of multiple prestigious professional societies. Currently, he is actively working on AI and big data driven forecasting models for commercial crops, reinforcing the role of emerging technologies in sustainable agriculture. We are truly honored to have such a visionary research and thought leader with us today. Please join me in extending a warm and respectful welcome for Dr. H. Ravishankar.
Thank you. Shall I share the screen?
You can
Hello?
share, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Visible, sir.
Yeah. 1 minute. So good afternoon to one and all. I think I am audible. Okay. Hello? Sir, am I audible or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. at least give a response while I am asking anything.
Audible,
So
sir.
okay. Yeah, so good afternoon to one and all. And myself, I think already given introduction. So the today's topic is quantum technologies, applications, a comprehensive survey. I think we know that in today's IT world, so we are hearing the word of quantum. Okay, it is a buzzing word of quantum. So is there any new technology uh, which will be named as a quantum, or whether is there any existing technologies which are emerged by giving the name as a quantum technology? So we can go in detail. Why? Because as per my knowledge, the quantum technology is a dream to all IT people. Why? Because uh, at present, none of us are working on the quantum technologies. So at least before going to the quantum technology or to implement it, so there is a need to know actually what is a quantum technology and what are its applications and mainly what are its components. Then coming to the what is a quantum technology. So if you can see the diagram on the right side, so we have a quantum networks, okay, quantum simulators. I think you are able to view that. Then quantum cryptography, okay, quantum cloud computing, then quantum materials, whatever it may be. So whenever you can take any existing technology, for example, cloud computing. So we are adding quantum before that. That is a quantum cloud computing. Similarly, networks. So you are adding quantum. That is a quantum networks. And we have simulators. Then we can use the quantum simulators. Similarly, the key distribution are related to the cryptography. Then now we are uh, adding as a quantum. There is a quantum key distribution. So that means the quantum technology is a field or is an emerging one which can be applicable in all the existing technologies. So why we need quantum technology? So the quantum technology mainly, I think you know that it is the fundamental theory of the physics. So that means it was based on the principles of the quantum mechanics, and we know that the atoms are the smallest particle, and so based on that, the quantum technology with the word which emerged from the IT technology. So we can say that it is a blooming reality that is set to transform the way we live and we work. So what is the importance of quantum technology? So I think by this slide, I think you have an idea. If you are a master in computer networking, then you can make wonders. If you have an idea of quantum technology, that becomes quantum networks. Similarly, if you are expert in simulation models, then if you have an idea of the quantum technology, then you can implement it by using the quantum simulators. Similarly, you are a very good programmer in cloud computing. Then if you know the idea of the quantum technologies, then it is a quantum cloud computing. That means in each and every existing field of IT where the new technologies are emerged, we can apply the quantum technology. But how to apply and what it is, we can go in detail. Now, why we need a quantum technology? So actually, these are the 4 ways. The one is called the powerful problem solving. That means I am not solving a powerful problem, but the given problem will be solved in a powerful way. So what is the powerful means? So you just keep in mind the powerful means main the quantum computing application main is the speed. That means the fastest computation. So whenever you have to solve any unsolved problem, so within a less time, for example, any complex problem, like one of the example is a drug discovery. And if you think of the Corona time, so they designed one drug. That means 2 companies designed one drug within a span of some 7 days or 10 days. Okay, so if the preparation of the drug itself will take months to that, then what is the resultant value? You just imagine. That means there may be more number of deaths. So if I will design a new drug and if its chemical combinations will give the result in a fraction of seconds and which will serve the n number of human lives, then definitely that type of technology is very, very useful. So such a technology is called a quantum technology. So the quantum technology will be used in a powerful problem solving where its application is very, very important. Now you can take another example of the powerful problem solving is a cryptography. I think most of the faculty members may know the idea of cryptography. So in today's internet world, 90% of the messages are hacked by some X. We can call it as a endeavors or eavesdroppers or some intruders, whatever it may be. So how to transmit the information securely from sender to receiver? So till now, from past 25 years, we are studying the concept of cryptography. If I will include or if I will modify the existing cryptography techniques by using the quantum, so then we can say that it is a more powerful. Then how it is possible, we can see later. So if you say the classical computer, that means the existing supercomputers or whatever it may be. So they may also solve the problem. But here the main important factor we have to keep it in mind is the time. You can just see the slide down. The quantum computer is 15 crores, 8 lakhs speeder than compared with a classical computer. So that means the first character of the quantum computer is to resolve the problems in very, very less time. So why? Because the time is very, very important. So in such a complex problems, the quantum computers are really important. That is why we need the quantum computers, means to solve any problem which has a complexity. The complexity arises in the problem that should be solved in less time. We can go for a quantum technology. That is the first one. And coming to second is called unbreakable security. So what is unbreakable security? So previously I told that. So we in existing cryptographic techniques, we use the KDC, that is a key distribution center. So we can transmit the information in secure way by using some encoding or decoding concepts. So even though the information was hacked by the intruders and they are decoding that information easily. So is there any other way to include or to make more secure of the transmitted information? Yes, it is possible by using the concept of QKD, that is called quantum key distribution. So by using the quantum key distribution, so we can say that the information will be securely communicated from sender to the receiver. And coming to third one is called precision sensing. You know that we are using the sensors. We are using the sensors in most of the fields, especially if you go for the agriculture. So we use the sensors and to identify whether that for irrigation and as well as for the water resources. And similarly, at present we are using the sensors in medical fields also. You know the robotic surgeries. The robotic surgeries, what is the importance of or what is the implementation by using robotic surgeries? The robot can identify a particular point and it can shoot out by using any radiation, whatever operation especially in the cancer treatments. So if we add that technology with the quantum sensors can go to the 99.9% to the exact point. They will identify in the medical imaging. Then automatically we can say that the success rate may be more. So not only in medical sciences, we can use in earth sciences also. In agriculture, wherever we use the sensors, if we use the quantum sensors, we can say that the precision is more and as well as the application gives more accuracy. And the fourth one is a scientific discovery. I think you know the simulator. Simulator is nothing but the virtual reality. So if we use the quantum simulators, can model atoms and molecules for chemistry and physics. So if I say that, if I will combine two chemicals and I want to see the result, and what is the resultant value, and how it will affect on the some another chemical component. So you need not go to the laboratories, and through quantum simulators we can see it in the system itself. So this is a quantity of the chemical 1 and this is a quantity of chemical 2, and if we combine these two under these circumstances and how the resultant value should be. So in such a way, we can say that the quantum computers are very, very useful. The quantum technologies are very, very useful in each and every field. Now, what are the key areas of the quantum technology? So mainly there are 3 technologies. One is called quantum computing, and second one is called quantum communication, and third one is quantum sensing. So you just see the diagram on the right side. That is one of the quantum computer designed by Google. So there are 3 main areas. One is called quantum computing, which is related to the computation, and second one is a quantum communication. That is how you can securely transmit the information. And third one is a quantum sensing. That means how the sensors will be used with the quantum technology to give more precision results. Now, coming to the key concepts in quantum computing, then we go one by one. The first one is the quantum computing. In classical computers, we know that the information will be stored in a binary form. That is either 0 or 1. That is, we can say it is a bit, either 0 or 1. But when coming to the quantum computers, we can call it as a qubits. So what is a qubit? So when you spin a coin, when it is in the air, then what is the probability of getting 0 or 1? It may be 0, it may be 1, it may be 1 0, it may be 0 1, it may be 1 1 or 0 0. So there is n number of states are possible. So that is called a qubit. So this enables quantum computers to explore many possibilities simultaneously. That is one of the most powerful concept in quantum computing. That is called the superposition. Okay, I think you understood this. The superposition means the classical computers only stored the information in binary, either 0 or 1. Okay, but when we comes to the quantum computing can store the information as a qubit, not as a 0 or 1 or 0 1. What are the n number of possibilities is possible. And second one is called entanglement. What is entanglement means? The qubits are entangled means the state of one qubit is directly related to the state of another qubit. That means if we can change the position of one qubit, automatically the other qubit position also may be changed. So irrespective of the distance between the two qubits. So that is a technology in quantum computing. So this entanglement is very, very useful in communications. So when I talk with the communications or quantum communications, I will again explain what is the entanglement. But you have to keep it in mind. The entanglement is nothing but the changing of one qubit position automatically change the position of another qubit irrespective of the physical distance. But how it is possible, we can just go in the next slides. Then third one is called quantum gates. You know, you are well knowledgeable with the logic gates. We know OR gate, AND gate, NOR gate, whatever it may be. In the similar way, we use here the quantum gates. The quantum gates are almost all the logic gates in classical computing, but there we can manipulate only bits, 0 or 1. But here we can manipulate qubits. So whenever you can manipulate the qubits, so there is a possibility of the first one, that is called, we have the superposition, and also we have the entanglement. So all these results will be appeared after performing the operations in the quantum gates. So you have to remember that in classical computer, we use the logic gates, and in quantum computing, we use the quantum gates. So the next point is, the next concept is quantum algorithms. So there are n number of algorithms already generated for quantum computing, but there are two popular algorithms. One is called Shor's algorithm. This Shor's algorithm is for factoring large numbers. Okay, and the second one is the Grover's algorithm, which is useful for the database search. So these are the two main algorithms. Why? Because they are already tested by using these two algorithms with the classical computers and proved that these two algorithms are execute faster than the classical computers. So there are four key concepts in quantum computing. That is superposition, entanglement, quantum gates, and quantum algorithms. Then coming to the history of the quantum computing. So the IBM in 2001, the quantum computing was evaluated by the IBM with 7 qubits. So you have to think in mind, when the number of qubits are increasing, the speed of the system is also increasing. You just keep it in mind. You just remember, when the number of qubits are increasing, the speed of the quantum computer is also increasing. That is the first major point. And second point is, when the number of qubits are increasing, the architecture itself is difficult, and the cost is also increased. And the third point is, one of the drawback of the quantum computer is the errors. So if there is any possibility of change of the one qubit wrongly, we can say that the entire system may be collapsed. So the error rate is very high in the quantum qubit, in the quantum computers. And next one is, we have to keep the quantum computer at a temperature which is very, very cool. So as per my knowledge, it is minus 273 degrees centigrade, and which is in very dark. So there is no question of voice, noise, or any disturbance to the system. If anything happens and if any qubit will be changed, there is a possibility of the entire information will be destroyed. So these are that means if you can see the advantages of one side, and the other side also we have the drawbacks. So in such a way, the IBM started in 2001 with 7 qubits, and Google started generated 2019 with a 74 quantum processor, and announced that the Google quantum computer is some 97% error free. Then in IBM in 2021 with 127 qubits, and the Google again with in 2024, that is 105 Willow chip. So the Google in 2024 designed one quantum computer, and they told that this quantum computer is 99.9% error-free system. Why? Because they are evaluated one new chip which is called Willow chip. So with this, the error rate is very, very, very low. And next company is called QPI AI. So this is one of the startup company in 2025. So they generated one quantum computer with 25 qubits. So most probably this QPI AI is one of the startup company which was placed in the Amaravati. I think excuse me. In Amaravati, we are starting the Quantum Valley. So that was approved by AP government. So they are encouraging the startups to place their company inside of that one. So the QPAA is one of the India startup company with a quantum computer of 25 qubits. Now the IBM promised that by 2029, a quantum computer with 20,000 qubits, which can solve any problem within a fraction of seconds. So that is one of the promise given by IBM by 2029. Then coming to the cost of quantum computer. Now we are telling that the quantum computer is very fast and it will solve any type of problem. So whether can I buy a quantum computer and place it in my room or in my home for day-to-day works or any simple programs? It is certainly not. Why? Because you have to remember that the quantum computer architecture itself is application oriented. So if you see this classification, there are three types. One is called low-end desktop systems, and second one is superconducting quantum computers, and third one is high-end large-scale systems. Now coming to the low-end desktop systems, so its cost is around $5,000, roughly 4 lakhs. So I think, as per my knowledge, in many universities they started the course of BTech in quantum computing. So the basic system for educational purposes is minimum to 4 lakhs. So the basic quantum computing concepts and the basic programs should be executed on the system only. So we can say that these systems are not suitable for the any complex problems like medical diagnosis or any financial systems. It is only for educational purpose only. So what is the quantum computing and how much time it will take to execute any application when compared with the classical computers. Then second one is called superconducting quantum computers. So it costs around $1 million to 2 millions. So these systems typically support a large number of qubits and are designed for more complex research and commercial applications. Now, take an example of the drug discovery, what I told previously. So in such a system, the time is the main constant. So I have to discover a drug in very less time, and which will benefit to the human beings. So for such type of application, so the cost of 1 million is not a matter. So for such complex problems, a large number of qubits consisting of a quantum computer can be purchased, so which is 100% suitable for complex research and commercial applications. Then third one is called high-end or large-scale computers. So the building a quantum computer with a large number of qubits, that means 100 or more, can cost tens of billions of dollars. So this is too much cost. And where we can use such type of systems, one of the example is in genomics. If you can go for the genome editing, if for example, if anyone wants to make sequencing of your DNA of your body, okay, it will take years to do that. If we use this type of large scale systems, then they will give the result within a span of hours, not as years. Why? Because the DNA sequence of a human body is very, very important at present. For example, I want to find out whether whether I have a particular disease X or not. So then they will make the DNA sequencing, which costs around, for example, 25,000 or 25 lakhs, whatever it may be. Then immediately within a 3 or 4 hours, your entire DNA sequencing will be generated and give it to you. So by seeing the DNA sequencing, we can know that whether we may get a particular disease in future. Up to 25 years, they will give the guarantee. So in such a large applications, and another area is the bioinformatics. I think you have an idea. The bioinformatics is a combination of biotechnology and information technology. So here also we can give some micro, a sequence of the human body or anyone, then automatically it should be make the entire sequencing. So in bioinformatics as well as in genome editing and in any large applications, so this type of large scale systems, whether it costs around tens of billions of dollars, it is not an issue, but the execution of application is very, very important. So three types of quantum computers you have to remember. One is low, another one is middle, another one is high end. So what are the factors affecting the cost of those three classifications? One is called number of qubits. Whenever the cost is increasing means number of qubits also increase, and the type of technology using that qubit also different. So someone may use a circuit based system, and some may use analog quantum processor. Some may use the semiconductor system. So the technology may also be used. So if you go for the large scale system, the error correction also will be low, and the cooling requirements may become high, and the type of software and algorithms implemented inside of the systems also different. It is not just like a simple desktop computer, so which will be developed for generalized applications. Then what are the main quantum computing applications? I already explained. So one is called optimization problem. What is an optimization? So when the optimization award arises, if you have n solutions for a particular problem, and I want to find out which solution is the best one among n, that is the optimization. I think if anyone studied the artificial intelligence, so we have one problem is called traveling salesman problem. So how a person will cover all the cities with less distance. So we have n routes available to a particular destination. Then what are the best route to reach the destination is called the optimization. So how the quantum computing can apply that optimization? So one of the example is the chess playing. So I think you have an idea. Before 2000, so there is no artificial intelligence concepts developed like this. So two members played the game, the chess game. One is myself, another one is the opponent. After 2000, automatically the one concept of game playing in artificial intelligence. So you have to make a one move, and the other move will be made by the system automatically. That is called the opponent move will be made by the system. So whenever I will make a move, for example, I will move the king to a particular position. So what are the possibility of moves made by the opponent? If I know in advance, then automatically it is very easy for me to make a move of the next coin. Okay. So for example, in my board, I have 20 coins, and each coin I may move in n number of ways. So if I will make a move of one coin to a new position, then what are the possibilities of the opponent to make a move according to my move? So that is called the, and which one is the best move, that has to be identified in advance by the quantum computing, which is called optimization. So this is an example. You just keep it in mind. This is an example. I think we also know the Google cars. So whenever you can start with the Google car can automatically find out. You have to fix. You have to give the destination. Then from your current position to the destination, what are the n number of ways are available to go, and in which way the traffic is low and the distance is less. Based on those assumptions, the car will automatically start driving to the destination. So that is called optimization in that problem. So based on the problem, the optimization made, the meaning of the optimization will be differ, but you have to remember that the optimization means the best solution among n solutions available. Then second one is called quantum cryptography. So we know that the cryptography, that means the encoding of the information, is very essential in financial transactions. You know that. In financial transactions, it is very, very important. If you see the TV daily, so we know that the cyber attacks. So frequently the cyber attacks are are performing by the intruders. So we have to apply. Why? Because already the cryptographic algorithms are implemented, and still we have the intruders are entering into that path, and we may say that the information is misleading, especially in financial transactions. So how to safeguard that information? So the solution is we can use the quantum cryptography. So we can say the word of quantum approximate optimization algorithm. So this is one of the algorithm which is already being applied by the defense. I think you know the defense persons are the first one who applied the networking. That is called DARPA, Defense Advanced Research Project Agency. So if any new technology comes, so they first make it apply as per their requirement. Similarly, the quantum cryptography, they applied the algorithm of QAOA, that is a quantum approximate optimization algorithm, in the defense sector, and they verified that this algorithm is working well, which provides more security when compared with the existing cryptographic algorithms. I think you know whenever we can give the username and password, so the password is always in encoding form, and all the operating systems like Linux or Unix are also developed by using the hash algorithms like SHA-12 or whatever it may be. Even though still the intruders are taking their role and they're stealing that information. So to make the better safe of that information, the quantum cryptography takes a major role. And third one is called, I told you, that is a drug discovery. So this drug discovery is very, very important. Why? Because we cannot discover any drug overnight. So we have to see the combinations of N chemicals and the molecular interactions at a scale. So how to do this? If I perform a combination of some 3 or 4 molecules or 4 chemicals, then what is the resultant value? And I have to apply that as an input to some other experiment. So all these entire process has to be done within a span of 2 or 3 days. So the system has to be supported. So for that one, the quantum computing is taking a major role. And you know the fourth one is artificial intelligence and machine learning. So we have so many machine learning algorithms and AI algorithms, so which are handling large data sets and complex models. So if we apply the quantum machine learning and the quantum intelligence, so which will improve the efficiency of the existing algorithms. Now, coming to the quantum software development kit. So what is this software development kit? What is the difference between software development kit and a programming language? So I think everybody knows a quantum software development kit provides the tools and the libraries and simulators to help developers build, test, and run the quantum programs, while a quantum programming language is a specific language used to write those programs. So if you just think of the SDK as a toolkit containing various instruments, the instruments here are the libraries and as well as the simulators. And a programming language as a specific tool, like a screwdriver or a hammer, so within the toolkit, so which will be used by the programmer. So these are major difference between the SDK and as well as a programming language. So whenever you can just go these, the N number of software development kits. One is called CIRQ. So all these software development kits are open source. So we need not buy anything. So the first one was developed by Google, and it uses the Python programming language. And second, the Forest is also uses the Python programming language developed by RISD. And Ocean also is a set of tools developed by a company D-Wave. So that is also developed in Python language. And Percival, that is the fourth one, that was developed by Quindila, and that is also developed in Python. So we just see the first 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 also. Qiskit is also developed by IBM, and it was manipulated and created by using Python. So all these quantum software development kits are developed in Python. So my sincere suggestion is, if I think most of the all the members are the faculty members. So my sincere suggestion is, if you train your students and make them expertise in the Python programming, then in the future world is towards the quantum computing. So which makes easy for them to get a chance in any good job. Why? Because the entire the if you just think of any quantum software development kit was developed by Python, means it is also acting as a system programming. Why? Because that entire SDK was developed in Python, means so the student can act as a system programmer as well as application developer. So the expertise in Python is the need of the hour for every student, whether he will develop for AI and machine learning and for quantum computing. And the quantum development kit. So this is a project developed by Microsoft as a part of the .NET framework. So the quantum programs can be written and run within Visual Studio and VS Code using the quantum programming language. So they designed one quantum programming language which is called QAsh. So out of 6, so 5 software development kits are developed in Python only. So Python has that much demand. Now, previously the SDK, that is a quantum software development kit, and this is quantum programming language. So you can see the first one, that is called QCL. The QCL is a quantum computation language, and its syntax is almost all 90% C programming. Then second one is the Q language. That is an extension of C++. And Ket is an open source language, so which is almost a familiar syntax with Python. And the fourth one is the QAsh, as previous I told, that is developed by Microsoft. And QML is a Haskell-like quantum programming language. And fifth one is a Liquid, that is you can pronounce as a Liquid. It is a quantum simulation extension on the F-Hash programming language. If you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So most of the combination of C, C++, and Python. So if you want to become a good programmer, so which will make you to qualify for the quantum technologies or quantum computing. So you must be well versed with C, C++, and followed by the Python. So these are the 3 important programming languages. And I sincerely suggest to all the faculty members to train the students in these 3 programming languages, which will benefit for them for the future career. So that's the quantum computing. That is the first key component. And second key component is the quantum communication. So what is the difference between communication, that is the data communication, and as well as the quantum communication? So the quantum communication is also the same. It is a method of transmitting information. But here we can use a n number of quantum mechanics. So particularly the quantum entanglement. So what is the quantum entanglement? So how we can use in the cyber security. So how we can use in the banking for unbreakable encryption. So if you see this diagram, I think you know this diagram. This diagram is in the, I think in William Starring's computer network, cryptography book. So the same, the allies send a message to the Bob. So we can say that the message is was transmitted in a encoded message. That means it was encrypted and transmitted through the insecure channel to the Bob. And the key, the random secret key, was transmitted in a special tunnel that is called the quantum key distribution channel. Through the channel, the information is received by the decoder. And what the decoder can do? The decoder can decode this quantum key distribution. That means the key which was received by the decoder, he first decode it and he will check it whether the key is correct or not. If the key is okay, then he can apply that key on the message. If the key is correct, then the information will be opened in a perfect way. So this is a general, instead of quantum key distribution channel, we use KDC, that is a key distribution channel in general cryptography. But here we use quantum key distribution channel. So what is the technology inside of it? That is called entanglement. Now you take an example. For example, you are sending a message, so which consists of some 10,000 characters. Okay, and I want to randomly change 7 characters in that message, which will automatically change another 500 characters. I think you understood the point. I am sending a message, so which consists of some 10,000 characters. So in those 10,000 characters, I want to change the value of 5 characters or some 10 characters, which will automatically change the values of some 500 characters. That is the concept of entanglement. So that change I will perform in the information and send to the receiver. The receiver know in advance. The receiver must know in advance what are the entangled keys. So he can decode only those entangled keys. Automatically, the remaining 500 characters also must be encoded to the correct position. If they will encode it in the correct way, then we can say that the code was not trapped by any intruder in the path. So you have to remember the cryptography and the quantum cryptography. The difference is, while sending the key to the receiver, we apply the technology of entanglement. That means out of n number of keys, I will make some keys will be modified. Those will modify the other characters in that key. So automatically this information will be transmitted through a separate channel to the destination. So whenever you can just think of this technology, we can say that the security is more, even though the intruder take that key and he didn't know where the 5 characters are entangled. So if he can modify one, automatically remaining also will be changed. So if he can apply that key to the message, then he won't get the original message. So these are the n number of techniques only used at the time of or while sending the key. So this is a main advantage of the post-quantum cryptography. We can call it as a quantum cryptography concept. I think you know what is encoding, entanglement, secure transmission, as well as called Q generation. So the beauty of this algorithm is they are taken care to sending the information, that means to send the key more securely, by applying the technique of entanglement. Then, what are the applications of quantum communication? The first one is called military and government. I think you know the military people will first check that whether this communication will be safe for us to send the information to the other side if any enemies are coming for the war or something. Then second one is banking. In banking, it is very, very important for financial transactions and to avoid the cyber attacks. Then customer privacy. This is also very, very important. Why? Because in today's internet world, we are using the mobile apps or we are using the mobiles. So we receive a call from an unknown person. You are so-and-so, we are so-and-so, like this. So how our personal information will be known by an unknown person. So how to protect it? So that is also very, very important. That is called the consumer privacy. And the fourth one is called medical records. The medical records are very important at the time of exchanging of the sensitive medical information. Why? Because the patient information is very, very important to make it as a confidentiality. So if I say that if my blood group is so-and-so and which is required for a high political person, then what will happen? So that's why the information of the patient is always make it to be confidential. And scientific collaborations. So I told you the scientific collaborations means securing of research data, which is very, very important between the institutions. So in research institutes, we have inter-institutional projects. So part A of the project may be performed by myself, and part B may be some other institute. While exchanging this or sharing the research between these institutions through any communication media, so we can say that the quantum computers are very, very important. And you know the quantum cryptography. And the next one is called quantum teleportation. So it involves the transfer of quantum states from one location to another without moving the physical object. That means it is about transmitting the state of a quantum system across a distance. So at present, they are not using the quantum teleportation, but we are applying the quantum communications already applied in military and in banking they are using, and consumer privacy and medical records, and as well as in the scientific collaborations. Now, where we stand, that means in quantum communication, so where we stand, that means our India. So you know that the National Mission on Quantum Technologies and Applications, so which was announced in 2020-21 budget. So the government of India focused on quantum computing, the communications, sensing, metrology, materials, and devices. Now, if you're coming to the Indian Quantum Alliance, so the CDOT, that means the Department of Telecommunications, has developed a QKD, that means quantum key distribution system. They are already developed and they checked with multiplexing quantum and a classical channels. That means they checked through n number of channels and the channels are made with fiber and they found that it is working fine. And second one is telecom network. So the India's first quantum computing based telecom network was already established between Sanchar Bhavan, that is a BSNL, and the Office of the National Informatics Center, that is NIC, at the Central Government Office in New Delhi. That means in New Delhi, the telecom network was already made by using the quantum computing based telecommunication network. And the third major organization is the DRDO. The DRDO are successfully demonstrated the QKD link between Prayagraj. Prayagraj means Prayagraj to Vindhyachal in Uttar Pradesh. That means a distance of more than 1,000 kilometers. They transmitted the information successfully by using QKD, and they told that so the QKD is more securable when compared with a general cryptographic algorithms. Then space research, coming to the ISRO. ISRO also successfully demonstrated the free space quantum communication over a distance of 300 meters. And ISRO is incorporating quantum communications in its space. So you have to remember where the speed is very, very important and where the resultant values has to be generated in less number of time. At that location, the quantum computers or the quantum communication is relevant to apply. Now, the third component is called quantum sensing. So, you know, the sensing means, you have to remember in mind, it is a sensor. So, the quantum sensing is a technology by using the principles of quantum mechanics. I think you know that. And a new type of sensors. A new type of sensors. And it is also comes under the category of quantum computing, quantum simulation, and quantum communications. So, where we can use the quantum sensors? You can see the first one is called temperatures. Temperature sensing. So the weather forecasting is very, very important nowadays. So if we use the quantum sensors instead of a normal sensors, the advantage of the quantum sensors means they will give the long forecasting, not only for today and tomorrow. So it will give the long time duration forecasting, and the sensors will give the exact measured temperature with high precision and accuracy. So that is the first one. And second one is the quantum sensors are already in use in defense. By defense companies and militaries around the world, they are using to detect the submarines or any other hidden targets. So using the magnetic or acoustic sensing. So the quantum sensors, you just think of the quantum sensors gives more precision and more accuracy instead of a general sensor. Now, I think I already told you. The applications of quantum sensing is one is soil analysis, the other one is accurate positioning, and quantum dots, and quantum enhancer sensors, and quantum inspired algorithm. There are various algorithms are available. One is called VQA, that means variational quantum algorithms. So most probably they are used in agriculture for to assess the land fertility and speed up the process, and particularly in precision agriculture and climate change adoption. So these are the three main key concepts in quantum computing. Quantum technology. One is called quantum computing and quantum communication, and third one is called quantum sensing. Okay. I just give a brief of, so any one application at present we are using. So because my domain is agriculture and I'm a computer scientist, so how this quantum computing benefiting provides the benefit, or what are the applications exist in the agriculture. So this is just only a outline. We just go. I will go through one by one. So we know that India is basically an agriculture based country. So how the quantum computing will be applicable? So we can say that the quantum computers or quantum computing is used in farming community, especially for optimized crop management. That means if we develop an algorithm by using quantum computing that will analyze the soil health, the crop growth patterns, and environmental conditions in a real time, and enabling the farmers to make data-driven decisions about when to planting and when to give the fertilizer and when to give the harvesting. So if this becomes easy, then definitely the agriculture will be benefited a lot by using the quantum computing. And second application is the precision agriculture. The quantum, we already have an idea of the quantum sensors. So if we can use the sensors, quantum sensors, that can collect hyper accurate data on soil moisture. So how much moisture was there in the soil? Then what are the nutrient levels of the soil? And how the pest was attacked? So with this information, that allows the farmers to apply resources exactly where they needed and minimize the waste. That is second application of the quantum computing in agriculture. And third one is the supply chain optimization. So if the supply chain, I think the supply chain means from the farmers to the consumer, and how it will be traveling, for example, for any crop. So if the quantum computing can enhance the logistics and the distribution, and the fresh produce reaches, and that means the market efficiently, so definitely the farmer will get the benefit. And the final application is the weather forecasting. So most of the research now going on the market forecasting, and as well as the supply chain. So this is how the quantum computing applications in digital agriculture. One is called the bioinformatics, I already told you. And then one is called remote sensing. And third one is called climate modeling. That means the weather forecasting has a very good future. And the fourth one is the smart farming. That means there is an integration of IoT plus AI and ML, and finally the quantum computing. Now these are the different areas. So where we are and what to do if we apply the quantum computing. So the first problem for the farmer is the financial risk management. So the financial means there may be the production risk, or there will be price or market risk. So these are the various problems has to be faced by the farmer. So how to resolve it? So there is a one model that is called quantum driven risk assessment model. So if you can apply that model, then the risk will be reduced at the farmer side. Presently, we are using the market intelligence models using artificial intelligence and machine learning. So this is now, I am developing this data-driven decision making on chili crop. So how to find out the production trends and the marketing trends, and is it possible to give those values to the farmer? So 90% of the work we already completed. So we have to test it in the real-time system. This is an example of those. So we applied by Prophet model in machine learning, and we generated the graphs and we forecasted the values, and 99.6% we got the accuracy. And all these models are at present we are developing with the AI and ML. So if we apply the quantum computing, we can say that we get the more accurate results in less time. And we can say this is one of the identification of the leaf. Identification of the leaf, and we have to find out in which part of the leaf was damaged. Present we are using the data analytics models. If we apply the quantum machine learning, QML is quantum machine learning plus quantum sensors, so we will get more accurate result. And the second one is called supply chain optimization. I think we know that how the demand is there, and based on the demand, the farmer has to give the supply of a particular crop. So is there any solution for that? Yeah, by predicting demand fluctuations, reducing transport costs, and minimize spoilage. Present we are using the BCT, that is a blockchain technology and data analytics models. So this is one of the blockchain technology model we are already implementing. This Government of India project for the chili. That is one of the chilies called Mundu chili, which is famous in Tamil Nadu. So how to design a supply chain model? So we are developing this software. So if we implement this type of models using blockchain technology plus medium QCA. QCA means quantum computer system. That means the second type of systems which cost around quantum computer algorithms plus DA. DA means data analytics. If these three combination will give more fruitful result when compared with the existing algorithms. And I already told you the pest and disease is a major problem in agriculture. So there is a one mobile app that is called Plantex. If you can place what's that? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Nothing, sir. Nothing, sir. Some faculty is talking. Cross talk.
Okay. So if you can apply that app in field on a particular leaf, then automatically the app will identify. So whether that leaf was affected by disease or pest, then it will give the recommendations. So the existing technologies are machine learning, image processing, and Android Studio. So to give more, these are the various diseases in various crops. So how to improve that? So now this is one of the projects I am handling by DBT. That is called the Vision Transformer by AI-based model. So to give the more accuracy of the result to the farmer to identify a particular disease and gives a prescription. And this is also another model. Now, the next one is called the genomic research. I told you the third one. So the system costs around some billions of dollars, millions and billions of dollars. So that is very, very important for a genomic research or gene editing. So at present, we are using deep learning, big data analytics models, and the bioinformatics softwares. So as a set of these models, we developed one software that is called the Seed Portal. So here we are using the blockchain technology, and we can easily identify for a particular farmer from last 5 years how much seed he taken and what is his yield and how much profit he gained. So this is the exact problem that is called prediction of microRNAs in cow species data. So I worked for US Department of Agriculture when I worked in USA for a postdoctorate. So this is a genome sequencing. So if you will give one chromosome number, you can see the top. If you will give this only single chromosome number, to give the resultant value, it will take minimum 1.5 days, 2 days for execution. Okay, but if we apply high-end quantum computers, plus this is called QDL, that is called quantum data long ways, and plus data analytics, plus the business intelligence tools, then automatically, so this type of problems will be solved in less time. That means why? Because the research is going on that. So this is called optimized resource allocation. In agriculture, there are two main resources. One is called water, another one is called fertilizer. So their use of efficiency is very, very important. Presently in India, the developed models are based on IoT and data analytics. So if we can apply the QS, that is a quantum simulation plus data analytics, then we will get the more results, or precise results in less time. And the last one is the weather forecasting. So weather forecasting also at present we are using various AI models, but there is a separate category that is called Q meteorology. That means quantum meteorology, which deals with the weather forecastings plus quantum system as well as variation quantum algorithms. These algorithms will be applicable to the weather forecasting models. And the last one is the soil test-based fertilizer recommendation. So based on the soil, can we recommend the fertilizer to a farmer? So we got award also for this project. So at present, we are using machine learning, data analytics plus sensors. If we modify this technology with quantum sensors, quantum machine language, and quantum communications, if we make these three, then definitely, so this is the example. So this output is varied from farmer to farmer. Why? Because a particular farmer soil may be different from the others. So if a farmer expecting 25 quintal per hectare, then what are the various nutrients he has to give into the soil? So this will be a good decision-making software. It was also awarded by the government of India. So in such a way, the quantum computing in agriculture playing a major role and compared with the other one. So this is the last slide. So you, I think you may ask me, so the quantum computers are very costly, but how to develop an application? Now we can have the quantum computing meets cloud computing. Cloud computing means you can develop. Why? Because I told you the quantum software development kits are the open source and the programming languages are open source. So you can download and you can develop an application in your current system like i7 or i5, whatever it may be. And after development, you can run that application in a quantum-based cloud. But right now, the rental charges are very high to take the storage and to run the application in quantum-based cloud. But many organizations are using the quantum-based cloud. Why? Because we need not purchase anything. So we can develop an application in your system in a classical computer and run that application in a quantum-based cloud. So which will give the resultant value. So this is the current state in India. I already told you. So what are the challenges in quantum technology? I told you in the initial slide. So the quantum, that means the qubits are very sensitive. So if there is a heat for the system, and our light can mess them up, and automatically the entire system will be collapsed. The situation is called decoherence. So the quantum bits are very, very sensitive, and it is very, the maintenance is very important. And second one is called error correction. So if there is a noise, or if the qubits values change, then automatically the error may be increased. Once the error may increase means in real-time applications, it gives a problem. And the hardware scalability, I told you, the hardware will vary from system to system based on your requirement. And the last one is called skill and talent gap. Why? Because the quantum tech needs experts in the physics, computer science, and engineering, but there are not enough trained people yet. So my sincere suggestion is try to develop your skills in Python, C, C++, and if possible, download the open source kit and develop an application, and you just check it in your system that how much time it will take to run any application. So then coming to the future of quantum technology, one is called the quantum internet. I told you our system is a classical computer of i7, and we have a quantum cloud. But after developing the application, how I can send that application to the quantum cloud? So we need a high-end internet. So that is called a quantum internet. So the quantum internet can send the signals or the information very fastly. And similarly, the fault-tolerant quantum computers. That means the error rate should be making very, very, very low. And the quantum computer should be commercially available. Means the cost should be decreased. Then only the business will be increased, and it will be applicable in every research. And the government also must take initiations, and the corporate initiatives. For example, the Google or IBM and any government has to invest billions into the quantum research to make it as an advanced technology which will be useful everyone tomorrow. So the quantum technology is nothing but the changing the future. We are still in the early stages. So the huge opportunities are ahead. So stay curious and stay prepared. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, I have one small doubt, sir.
Okay, tell me.
I think except cost, if there is any other limitations, sir, for quantum technologies.
No limitations, sir. But actually, its maintenance is also very difficult. No? So we have to maintain some minus 270 degrees temperature, and it should be in a dark room. And the error rate has to be maintained very, very precisely low.
Yes.
If we will satisfy all these constraints, then definitely the quantum computing is very much essential, very much useful also.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Any other dear participants? Any queries?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you to one and all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for the wonderful session. In your busy schedule and in time of ill health, your insights and practical perspectives were extremely valuable and well appreciated by the participants. On behalf of the ATL FTP Organizing Committee, Right Management, and all participants, we express our sincere thanks to you for your valuable contribution. Thank you once again.
Thank you, madam. Thank you for giving an opportunity
Yes, sir.
as a part of your program. Thank you.
Yes, sir. A small request, sir.
Tell me, sir.
Most of the faculty are asking about presentations, sir. If possible, please provide us.
Yeah, okay. First presentation I will share you. Second,
Yeah,
is,
yes, sir.
yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Guidelines for participants, ATL online FTP test. Dear participants, please follow the below guidelines while attempting the test for successful completion of the FTP. First one, test access. The test will be conducted online through the ATL Academy portal. Use your registered email ID and password to log in. Test link is available in the assessment tab. The test link will be visible only during the allocated time, that is 6:45 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. The second one is the test format. The test will be consist of 20 MCQs, that is multiple choice questions. Each question will have one correct option, no negative marking. Duration was 45 minutes. There is only one attempt. Once started, the test must be completed in a single sitting. The session will be start by sharp 5 p.m.
Thank you, Lavanya.